425. And do we have any letters, communications to the board?
We do. We have a letter from Pat McCowan, Executive Director of the St. Louis County Chamber of Commerce. We'd like to put in a shameless plug, if you will, for the International Junior Carp Fishing Tournament, the 7th annual international tournament held at Wheat House Bay on August 13th through 15th, which is Saturday through Sunday, 2009. That's in the board packet. In addition, we have a letter from a happy customer, if you will, American Rock Salt, dated May 1st. You can see there. Your leisure, and beyond that, just the standard nothing else to report.
Okay, is there any comments on the communications? Just go over the board minutes for January 6th, February 17th, and March 3rd. Made by Jim.
I was telling you that.
Okay. Stand by the motion in the very second. All in favor, so go to saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, comments and presentations.
Please come back to the Junior Carp Tournament.
Yes.
We are granting them permission.
As it's a recurring event, it's just something you take care of here in-house.
Okay, so you're right.
Okay, comments, presentations, citizens regarding the agenda items. Okay, before we go any further, I'd just like to say to welcome Ramona, I believe it's Ramona Green from the Green. Okay. As our new board member who will be coming, well, from what I can see has been approved on the 14th is when we got notified officially. And I guess, from what I understand, you have done your oath of obligation.
Yes.
That's all been sent in?
I just got the 2:30 today. I signed and it will go in the morning.
Okay. You'll be our newest board member, so.
Then, formally, then,
They haven't received it in Albany yet.
No.
No, so you said until next month she'll be here. Okay. Because that's the only thing the letter says. Once they receive it down, then she's just telling us now that she has sent the information. Well, welcome aboard anyways.
Thank you.
I'd like to keep everybody, but that's not my choice. So, and I want to say at this time, Jim, you know, can't say enough for you, but thanks to the things that you've done, stuff that you bring to this board, and, a lot of talent and a lot of issues in a lot of areas. So,
well, it's certainly been a pleasure. I've had a lot of fun doing it. The last 5 years, I've learned a lot. Everybody here has really taught me a lot. You have an excellent staff there. We wish you the best moving forward. A lot of things happened in 4 years and 5 years. When I first came here, Mark will remember that I think we were always looking at things in red. And over the past 5 years, we've seen that turn around and seen some great financial numbers.
Can you still walk the railroad lines with you guys for purposes of determining our property?
Sure. Actually, I want to go down and check out the derailment.
you never sign a train, you won't bring your duck.
Thank you, Jim. Thank you.
I gotta give you credit for one thing. In the town, we have to agree on one thing. That train had to go someday. The engine, he finally moved it.
Oh, it's finally gone.
Yeah, it's finally gone. So with that, we'll just move on to the executive director unless somebody else has got something.
I know this is probably been my last meeting too, I'm assuming. I got my letter from the governor, so just in case I get it, I haven't gotten it yet. I got it, I may be reappointed, which you can assume that. But just in case it happens between now and the next meeting, you know, I won't, if my appointment does take place before then, I just want to say thank you for serving with my fellow board members as well, and Jim. It's been a great experience. I was telling Ramona out there, that's why I went some food, and ended up chit-chatting with myself. Ramona was talking to her. I was debating which one was Jim or me. Our position should we vote for it. But really, from my perspective, from the city's perspective and a personal perspective, it's been a great honor working with my board members here. I think it's a good board, and I echo what Jim said. I mean, you've got a great staff, a lot of positive things happening from the city's perspective. perspective and the road country's perspective. And, you know, if I'm not here at the next meeting, you know why. Hopefully I am, but if I'm not, you know why. But keep up the good work and keep doing the good things you do on behalf of Ogdensburg and the North Country, because you're a tremendously important asset to the region. You guys do a good job. Thank you. So, keep up the good work. And if I'm not on the board, I'll be following you from afar as well, and making out your meeting still up.
Oh, you know, as the mayor, you're always going to go.
Yeah, and we're always glad to see you. The joint economic development team too, we sit together, so but keep up the good job, good board, and keep up the good work.
Thank you, Bill. Thank you for living with us. Thank you.
Definitely been an asset here, boy. Okay. Skip. Reports.
A couple of things to add for the highlights of the report.
Don't pay attention to me.
The training hangar is now complete. We had a very successful American Wind Energy Association conference in Chicago for November 4th. Submitted an EPA clean diesel grant application for a locomotive. Again, I want to get everybody's hopes up on that particular one. It's highly competitive. As far as the bridge, a lot of activity in the past period. Pursuing the funding for the bridge rehab project. We've got a $90 million need out there, as you know. Pursuing that at both the state and federal levels. We went to Albany, had a meeting with Acting Commissioner G of the New York State DOT, also a conference call with Michael Evans of the Governor's Office regarding the funding needs for the Ogdensburg Prescott International Bridge. We've submitted a high priority training project application, funding for the bridge, to $90 million. We have met with Senator Ellerton, as well as talking with Regional Peterson about the bridge deck replacement project. It's been a pretty busy month to open the bridge. Attended the St. Louis County Economic Development Strategic Planning meeting and conducted the Labor Management Committee meeting with CSEA as per the collective bargaining. A couple things to highlight over the next 30, 60, 90-day time frame. We'll be following up with the Wind Energy Conference contacts at the port. We're working on finalizing a large-scale port client agreement at the present time. And I hope that we'll conclude the port master plan update with a consultant to put that out there, because we need that to complete the strategic planning.
How did you guys find the Wind Conference?
Excellent.
Yeah, we were there for Blue diligently. I ran into them a few times over there.
There was a lot of activity in the wind market. Wind energy is dampened, I would say, from prior years, but it's still moving. This makes it more full steam ahead. In that aspect, a lot of projects have been delayed, but have not been finished.
Fortunately, I think in New York State we're going to see maybe a drop off just because of. I think our Attorney General has a lot to do with it, and also the DEC making sure the projects get approved. Kind of keep plugging away, but the wind industry really is going to be huge in the next 10 years. When we first started one of those WEA conferences, the attendance was around 3,000. There might have been 100 to 150 vendors. This conference was 21,000 attendees and over 1,200 vendors. Absolutely incredible.
What's great too is obviously not only Fort Myers, but also Northern New York. New York State is the only other representative there from New York State. Was the greater Rochester area.
Yeah, and for Ford, there was probably 7 or 8 ports. Yes.
So Spiegel wasn't there?
Spiegel was there strictly as an attendee, but not represented.
And good contacts at manufacturers. Yeah. Just got to work with them, talking with them, and teaching yourself.
What's really encouraging is we're starting to get recognition.
Well, I know that the wind project down here actually has, from this area, taken some of those workers that were running the trains and running the loading operations, and not just from that, have taken a handful or two of those workers on every single other one of their projects that go everywhere around the world. I've met a few of them before under other circumstances, and they were very proud to say that they got their newest employment like thing, that's nice.
And everybody we talked to, everybody we talked to.
Did they see it as a successful, smooth operation?
Tax base, they were able to put money back in the school district and things like that. There's probably things that they could have over their housing. That's a little personal. It has a lot of good things about it.
Any other questions or wait report? Please, Madam Chief, Financial Officer, non-financial.
Our auditors will be here the week of June 1st, after annual audit and financial statements. We'll be here Monday on the 1st, probably through Thursday as early as Friday at the latest. So we're going to 5 days. This time is growing short. I've spent some time getting the audit schedules together, putting this together, and kind of pulling on getting draft statements together at this point. As well as that's most to do to get ready for it. They'll have something for us as draft statements for the June meeting. They will be here for the July meeting to present the audit. They will also be here during the field work when this is part of this year to have mentioned.
How about an entrance benefits? Do they need that when bringing them to them?
They don't. They haven't been doing that this time because staff auditors and then like with the senior partners. The contractor that will be on the council.
So I'll be around 50.
I think Jim was at 1 2 years ago. I think Greg, you were there last year about with the auditors. We've been out of town both the last couple of years with the guys. So they'll be here first week of June.
I'll make an effort to be there.
All right. A couple of things not on the report. The budget called me on Monday. Victor, who reviewed our budget last year, started to take a peek at it. We had a few questions that I'm back and forth with him a little bit this week. Just routine questions. So they're going to limit that currently, actually. Today we changed the Canadian price on the bridge down to $3.50, I believe, because of exchange rates. That's just something that happens today. And other than what's on my report here,
Mark, can I just bring something to your attention? I'm not sure if you did it in the past, or I think you did. With new board members coming on, you might want to arrange to have further education for ethics and to comply with the governor's executive order. Okay. You've got Sam and Ramona at least right now. It's 2 segments. And you'll have a third person. You might want to wait for a third, but you need to drive to Syracuse last time. Yeah. So when it first started, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm just reminding you that might be something you want to put on your radar screen.
Okay, thanks.
Now, there's been some changes, Mary, that you have that up. I haven't seen them. At my day coordinator the other day, they talked about me going to the vet. I said, well, not. Now they're saying we're going to do it again.
I think the training I'm talking about is for the new people, and I think at some point in time they'll probably update it. It certainly wouldn't be like the 2-day seminar, all-day seminars that we went to Syracuse.
But I guess about that a while ago, they really don't have anything to do with the
But due to the fact that I had already done the training for the Bridge Port Authority, then I don't have to do the same training for the bank.
You should.
You know, and they're crossing wires here some places, and, you know, it's quite expensive, but we will pay for all the expenses that cost you folks. You have to go. If you have to travel, you have to travel. I don't know if they're going to have it anywhere close around here or not. You think they'd have something in this area. But once the county probably gets in line, they'll probably have one right, hopefully, right around.
Their policy is different than the state policy, remember, so. Stir in the pot, Ramona, stir in the pot.
Pursuing a number of court inquiries, we've got pending agreements out there in the legal project cargo. I've been impacted a little bit by the recession, some of the leads we had earlier this year. They're optimistic about it. I'll be working on an electronic promotional
wood.
Does that need an email?
Yeah, but that's kind of a flyer.
A little bit of interactive stuff?
We'll send out to you via that we get existing contact people. Continue to pursue the final draft of the grading study and
So it seems to be falling farther and farther behind. The last meeting we had was 70 days. That's
And a motivational discussion.
and now they need, that should have been in our hands for weeks ago. Completed a targeted mailing to defense contractors in Ontario and Quebec. Got one reply to that so far, which is last week. Ontario-based manufacturing firm need to pursue the maintenance, security, annual trade show in Ottawa. That's kind of exclusively that. So, invitation only contacts that we've developed with our
No, you go with our tenants or will you specifically invite it?
Prospect for existing tenants looking at a new railroad show with the city, and
Any damage on our roof there too? Okay. Water, okay. He's actually shrinking the seat like that, so I'm going to tell you that, $200,000 project to do tomorrow. Yeah, that's better project.
Maybe that's on my board, Chad. Anything else? Mr. Lawrence, Director of Operations report.
Just a few things. One of the points with the rehab project is the advanced detail plans that come out in the state of Green Green Peterson. They've given back their comments to Green Peterson and putting them together. That's for the entire project.
How did GP see their comments?
Yeah, no, it's nothing earth-shattering things that they can get around. Some of them are a little bit too technical for me, so I have to call them just to have them explain it, which I'm more in structural nature. The Department of Transportation has begun final drawings and final project specs for the Portland's relocation. Everybody's handed in their comments on that. We had just a few, but nothing from our standpoint that they couldn't handle. On the airport, we held a pre-construction meeting for the apron expansion, and just to give you a time frame for that, work will begin possibly mid-June and be done by first or second week of September. So a lot will happen over the summer out there, and that should complete that whole area. We're looking forward to that. With the port, I can change that 13,000 number. I think there's somewhere around 15,000 tons of salt that's been received from the American Rock Salt by rail since April 1st. With the exception of the last week, we can get salt daily and keep that activity going. We also received last week actually about 2 weeks ago, we received a vessel with 26,000 metric tons of salt from Morton Salt. We will relocate that right now. And that covers all the points.
Not the new cloud job.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you.
You know I don't like to spend money, and then ask about that.
Steve, the next ship that comes in, do we have any more coming in?
Yes, tentatively, and I can't tell you the schedule, but I think North American has expressed, I believe they've gotten a contract with one of the counties, either Franklin or Clinton County, and they're looking to bring less than more than stock bringing all the money.
Now, is there any, can you tell me, beginning on our inner harbor, how many tons can that ship have on it to get them come in and out of that inner harbor before we don't have to double handle this product.
Yeah, I don't know, even know if there is a number, but to get a pilot for someone to take leave asked, and for the last, I think, 9 or last 6 or 7 years, they refused to go in there. So it's just something that we can't force it, regardless of whether they do, whether you're asking. And this is going back to the bill that he did ask.
What's the reason for not wanting to go in there?
I think it's just unknown that the harbor's really not maintained over that way as well, and it's not unknown. And also, anchorage for that isn't very easy, right? There isn't right up close if you look along the old piles and the
Yeah, but these are self-unloaders, right?
yes, but to
I
tie
don't
them,
need to tie up.
yeah, they do. They got to be tied up to us.
Self-unloader.
Yes. They're right up along the shore, and then we just bring them up there, and then they've got to be anchored, and then they drop their anchor, and then they're tied to the pier.
Because they used to take half the load off on this side, then they go around there and jump on the back side. So what I was wondering is that they had, say, 50 ton, if they could do 25 in Prescott and do 25 over here. But we can get them up there, but we don't have to double handle.
You know, well, we have split loads with across the river and here, but not split so that we've gone to the harbor since I've been here.
Well, can we split the loads so we don't have to load at the end of the dock? What we do at Prescott?
No, because what they tell me is some of the gradation on the salt and what they add for the caking agent is a spec for Ontario or Quebec. And I know last year I tried to get some split loads because we wanted to just load right down by the pile because of the windmill. And they just said it was a different road salt that they'd have to break up. And they could do that, but they weren't willing to do it at the time. So we have split loads, but it's been 2 entirely different types of salt. Some is blue and some is the white.
Who's pink?
That is that's a new product that's got a added in it.
It comes from Brazil. Well, I guess it's definitely one of the things that I probably read about it, and just for the board members to know that the way they've been looking into it is kind of an issue of anytime you're transporting materials, when the more you handle it, the more it costs. And the price goes up. There's no doubt about it. So, and I've talked to Wade about it. Wade is already on to it, and we're looking for ways of getting some more dredging done in our port. At the same time, maybe extending it a little bit, and then with you folks again and see if we can make some modifications. But it just in that alone would save like $200,000, which lowers the cost of the county and the state prices. And it helps us out because they're wear and tear on our equipment. I mean, I watched the operation down there the other day, and I just...
So there's some preconceived notions that they can't
Yeah,
do there.
but anyway, that was not
preconceived. I mean, some that's on the ground.
Yeah.
And then depending on the wind conditions, I mean, you may have that all set up, and if the wind conditions are right, they can't hold the valve or operate there. And I've just known that they don't listen to me as far as where they take the rest. And that's strictly their own call. So we've asked, and we've even tried to get them up farther there. Some will come farther up the dock, which helps us out. And some, no matter what we say, that's just where they want to stay. Safe with the vessel.
There's only, 20 feet of water at the far end of right at the boat launch.
Yes.
So there's 20 feet, so actually you need 27 feet.
Yeah, and if you can get them to point the valve outward, there's more depth out there, but that takes quite a deal. And they need to leave their valve thrusters on and all that. But some have done it, and some just say, this is as far as you can.
On the derailment of the track, there's a rumor, I guess we never heard officially what happened, but apparently big change in temperature across the track.
Yeah, that section of the track is, we have an application out there for, I forget the exact amount, but to repair it, not to repair it, to replace that section of the track. That particular section of the track is our lightest weight trail, about 50-pound trail there, I think. And what it ties. And you can see like 6 inches either side of the tie. It is in need of repair. That section has been repaired. I was out there at the site and I've been out there since the tracks were fixed. But that is a continuing thing that we'll continue to pursue the DOT because we definitely need those repair dollars. Rail is critical to port operation.
If not rails, not going to come back to us for anything.
No, that's their, under our contract, it's their responsibility to maintain. They did use, I believe, 500 ties, and an emergency discussion with DOT, used 500 ties from the port, from the ports.
How did they inspect all the signs and put them down?
Supposedly,
Seriously.
all these ties were pre-inspected in the port. So.
Because when they were banded, they didn't like them because they go into 3 sides, so.
So, yeah, you got better speaking. You may have said it,
That's why,
you got my hearing aid today. Where is the $2.5 million that the DOT rail is following for that project?
That's an application that we submitted last year. The entire program is being held up and has not been announced yet. This is the same pot of funds that our port access roads is in.
So Mr. Kelly's ahead of that too?
No, he's not the grant administrator on that. That's DOT. DOT is not announcing.
No, but Kelly's not on the port asset.
No, it was just it was common funding. It was common grant program that money. Mr. Kelly will not have anything actually for that.
He's rail only.
That's correct.
I hope so.
3 to 7.
that's pretty good.
I'll say it here in open session because I had a gentleman come in my office the other day and he laid all the pictures out. And he threw it on the desk. He said, why don't we just let this happen? I said, we didn't let it happen. We leased the railroad out to these people and these people will take care of the maintenance of it, etc. And if they see an area of track that needs to be fixed, they should fix it. And what happened here, I don't know. I mean, I'm not an engineer, I'm not a trainer or trained, but he said, I am a trainer. And he said, let me tell you, this shouldn't be happening. So I told him, I said, you know, write your letter to the DOT and get this Mr. Kelly a little buzz because we want it fixed. We can't get the money. Then when we get the money, he doesn't want to let us have the money. Then he don't like the contractors. But it's a funny thing to me to see that the guys who went up there and fixed everything. They're off the apple again. But
I've got,
But they didn't pour any concrete, so we're okay with that.
I don't have those pictures with me here, but after the meeting, I'll be happy to bring them down. Put them up.
who's out there?
With red trucks.
This guy is
That hell of a operation.
he's got a picture of the rail where it's falling down like this here and the rail goes just like this. He says, how long is that going to take? It's not my problem. Really, I mean, if we were the people that had to fix it, we'd go fix it.
But remember, in years past, what's happened is we have applied for the grants. We have taken care of our own infrastructure, despite the fact and without regard to the fact that we lease out those operations. The people are always going to think that that's our responsibility. And to be quite honest, once we come in contact with the money and those funds, that's exactly what we can spend it on. So.
Yeah, it's been a long time on that. Okay. Steve, you got anything else? You sure? Yep. Sure. You want to talk about the new truck?
That's a lot of cost.
You want to talk about the new truck?
Beautiful.
You're getting ready to fall, right?
That's ready to go.
How many miles a gallon do you get? 2. You know? 4-wheel drive, so 17 specific.
This flexi, too. It's flexi.
You may not report, so I'm going to put James, give me up there, then.
The facilities committee met about 3:40 today. It's going to cover 6 topics, 5 of which will be in your board packet tonight. First one is the bridge. We've got approved a grant with New York State DOT for toll bridge relocation. $3.6 million grant there. In the Commerce Park, we've got just a waiver consent form with Breckenridge, more of the housekeeping order. That's something that we executed previously that we recommended that we execute again. We had a contract with Wendell for sure on the port security. We've actually asked Steve to go back and give us some more detail on the engineering fees. I thought they were a little high, so he can give us a breakdown of those to see if anything makes sense there. So we're going to hold that for a month. At the airport, we've got approved the grant with the bank for the terminal hangar doors, for converting the other half of the terminal to a hangar. So that's positive, $120,000 grant there. And along with that, we've got a resolution to award remaining contract and install those doors. And we've also got a resolution or board packet for an expanded scope of the transient hangar project with about $49,000 left over there. So we're going to spend that on some other upgrades that we'll talk about when that comes up. And I guess the final one was the seventh one, was an approval of a lease or an easement with Time Warner Cable for communication service to the new building. Those are in our board packet for approval.
That's number 4. Okay, the Finance Committee Chairman, you're up.
I met this afternoon at 3:30 with Pat Hill. We reviewed various invoices. Had several more questions than I usually do because there's some names that I didn't recognize from before, but as always, she had very adequate explanations and found everything to be in order.
She's thorough.
Unfinished business. It's in activities. Next meeting is June 2nd. How's that look for everybody? The new board members here, if there is a problem with the day, we work with each other, try to move it around. And,
They used to do morning meetings when they had more retirees on board because it made sense. And then I guess some of it, almost, this work, they moved into the afternoon, so that's why we moved into like, usually 4. Is that too early for you, Ramona? 4 is fine.
and then the other meeting, they started to do like one right after the other, so depending on what committee you land on or assign it to, I'll have to do some adjustments. Mary, you've got more time now to tell me.
She's trying out to be secretary, though.
You've got more time now to tell me.
Yeah.
Okay. June 2nd. So everything's okay there. We're going to have the approval of the business items.
Certainly. The first item up under general administration is the approval of the grant from New York State DOT. This is for the $3.6 million DOT grant for the border station relocation, which you can see on the diagram directly behind you on the wall. This relocates the toll booth to the new location, realigning the walking trail, construction access driveway to the OBPA building, pedestrian sidewalk connecting the toll booth. The importance of this project is 100% funded by the Renew New York Bond Act of 2005. So there is no solicitation aspects.
Well, if we're not spending money, I definitely like to.
Beyond our
Taxes. Ready to get across here.
Talk about the other grants that we had.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
The award of 3.6 million. Say that we had 3.5. Does that go back to them? Or any other just different? I would assume it's.
I think we're through that for help to check this. Hey, Steve, when we have, the question was asked, we get 3.6 million award for the project, but we can, they're trying to apply. There's $100,000.
Yeah, they may use it. I'm sure a lot of it is across the improvement, got a lot of money, so they may get for something needed here, where you can do that, or maybe take the money back. So that's all their money, right? Yeah, the project.
Well, I guess one of the things really is the contingencies there is something that before it goes back
I don't know what their number is, but there is.
I mean, maybe more, and you may not even happen, but I'm saying.
And without knowing what the base bids are, then they could come in exceptionally low. They're going with this money's all based on the engineering testing and construction. So if they're right on, or maybe the base bid's lower, and put more room in there, but there is a contingency basically.
The time frame between being awarded and use it would be the length of time, I think, maybe 2 months, 3 months. The time being awarded versus, the bids going through, and then processing would be any time frame?
Probably 90 days.
90 days, so there is a little time to make some changes.
And any, they give time to the contractor to say that they agree with all the drawings, there's something on there that can maybe see an error or something that they need clarification on.
Do that.
So you think the project is done in 2009?
I don't, yeah, if it was this time frame, maybe, but like I was telling them, it seems to be like, basically a road job. Since that, a lot of that is just reconfiguring, and then the whole loop itself is like canopy and everything like that. So, I think it would depend on what the contractor is, whether they need to do something other than long they need to put binder down and everything rough, and when winter they shut down the computer and the contractors. Maybe not as complicated as that, but I think there's enough time to allow them to say that.
Now, we have to spend the money for this.
Well, not in this, entirely the state.
No, but we've got, at the city, we've got some grants, but the state's got a major delay on reimbursing us. We've got money in some of our projects. How is that, this one, how it is here, this project? I'm sorry. We've got some grants from the state for some of our projects, and we front the money, do the project, get reimbursement. The state's been really lagging, 60, 90, 120, 180 a year.
I don't know that much of it yet. We ran to the airport, so we don't have experience with that. But reading through it today, looks like they're looking for cancelled checks and stuff. So, $3.5 million exceeds our.
Yeah, that's my concern is will it, and I just, I'm support this, my concern is if the state's got a lag of back their ways on reimbursement could cause a cash flow problem for us, like for the city.
I'll start contacting people at the state
Just to make sure.
Do we hold this meeting for that answer then?
Well, I think you ought to do the project. I don't think that.
We could always do something with local bank if we had to, so. Yeah. Just even the money box at the airport.
Yeah.
Yeah, they reimburse us.
So we have to show off the versus, so there is a process, so when they send you over,
When the bill was really well done.
it's 100% covered by that.
And part of the thing we favor is some cancel checks, so we will be able to give us progress payments showing that we've already paid that money. To a sound price.
I guess it's just the only thing is to look prepared, you have some kind of bridge finance and you can be up. Yeah. I'll look at our experience with some of our projects that we've got.
We'll look into it next month when we, for 3 weeks, then we get all the money for it.
That's right. That's right.
I made a motion.
Motion has been made, seconded. Questions? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
The second item is, they thought this kind of is slightly out of renewal, but June 2005 was recommended to reduce the lender borrowers entering the financial personal property recognition allows going on business capital language as the original 2005 agreement, and I did ask Frank to take a look at that, and be happy to answer any questions that anybody has.
I think the report section should say fee simple, not just.
The reason why it was easy to do is because we went over this extensively way back. Somewhere in our lease, it says we have a security interest in personal property. That's all the assets they want to pledge, and so therefore the bank would go with it once we get out of the way. There's been no harm to us in the 5 years that they've been in here anyway. It's been a good time.
Can I tell you the last time we took a security interest in those little tiny toilets, they didn't bring us that much money.
We're still paying for it.
We have lots of toilets.
Motion's in order.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Next item was on page 14 of the packet. You can see one approval agreement with Blue Crest Dairy. This is a repeat agreement that we see every year. It's covers each of the acres.
Yes, FedEx. Okay, we know that.
It's under this agreement is for 83 acres, $24 per acre. It's the same standard 68-year minimum.
Motion to approve. I'll make that motion. Do we have a second? Second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Item C2 is the approval of transfer storage agreement with American Army for the railway. Seaway Rail Services, this is the warehouse P3 port, 393 square feet, 76 feet per square foot, is one, the others are two, 40. Appropriate insurance is required, as well as they are paying all the electric bills.
Okay, we used to say utilities, right, just electric, we have nothing else down there other than electric for utilities? Usually our leases say utilities, plus utilities, I'm just wondering.
That's a good point. I don't know, Steve just
Electric in there, there's nothing else in there. There's nothing else in there.
I said it wrong.
And then he is space. So.
Do we have a second? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
The next item is on hold for the month for the sheriff. Item D1, approval of agreement with Mercy Flight Services. You recall we do this agreement every year. This is for Mercy Flight Central Services. Prevents jet fuel at the Ogdensburg Airport, June 1st, 2009 to May 31st, 2010. Attached agreement. Prior years. We just requested they have an agreement in place.
We don't have an attached memorandum, but that's.
No, I
Okay.
said attached, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Second.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Next item, item D2, is approval of a grant with the Dormitory Authority of the State of New York, Admin. This is a project here where originally we were thinking about putting 5-hole doors into the unused southern portion of the terminal building for an airplane hangar. Total project cost was estimated to be $120,000. We put in a dormitory, we put in a grant application to the Community Capital Assistance Program with the help of Senator Overtime. And we were notified that we are eligible to receive $100,000 for this. Good news is we went through all the motions last year, did the project, total project cost, which was held by the contractor involved, and additional fees will come up to a total of $105,000 for the project.
Now, would this be another space where we'll be able to rent, lease out, or would this be something that will be used by our tenants or our users?
This would be something, this space would most likely be rented by Cape Air.
So this will be additional revenue to us.
That's right.
terminology, does that mean we are going to receive that?
Yes. Yes, there's a grant application. A grant application out there, we've got the author that is executed.
Yeah, those will need to.
So the authority does want the $5,300.
At the end of the day, yes.
So, do we have a second? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
We talked about this last time. The next item, transfer storage unit at RV Lawrence. Steve, do you want to comment on the repair status there at all? That we've ordered the parts.
All the full fab is the maker of the T-hanger and all those parts are in there. We're probably halfway through that. We've got some posts that get jacked and we think they'll be in place. But most of the steam we put back in that will probably take less than 10 days.
And road is taking care of all that. Road is taking care of all that.
I had a separate conversation with RV Lawrence over this issue as well, and the authority for looking at other issues about the 2 months worth of credit memos on this, and that way it's ready for remain unchanged. So at this point, I think it's fair to say everybody's pretty much happy with the repairs are fully complete yet. Is that fair assessment, Steve?
Well, one of the things that I wanted to make sure, I believe when this gentleman came last month, come on the board, that he also made some inquiries into other parts of the hangars not specifically being used for what they're meant for. And we were saying that there was some, maybe not everything being stored. I'd like to know what is supposed to be stored in there and what isn't supposed to be stored in there. It's, you know, he brought it up.
Is that his concern?
No,
The fact that
what he done was he was saying that
Planes that are not very.
If they talking about a direct concern regarding his neighbor on the hangar, that plane has sat there for 3 years, 4 years, I think.
I just want to make sure that we are in compliance with the FAA, that is, and if there's people renting them hangars that is not using them properly or what they're meant to be, we should put those people on notice, get in line, they have to move. Now, he talked about gas cans, he talked about fuel in some of them places, the stuff they had in there. I'm just saying, if I can say, we want to be in compliance. So he made it here very clear that he thought that we should look into that. Have you looked into it?
And if you recall, I think you recall, Mary, 4 or 5 years ago, we were using some of the T-hangers because we didn't have demand for them. I believe some local were using it for storage and things, and basically, kind of what you said, Fred, is that, and I remember Joe, we basically kicked those people out and then cleaned them all out, and everything there is storage. So there's airplanes in every one of them. It's just that there's a couple of them that there's not a lot of use with that. They're just stored right here, so they're not active. That's the point.
his concern is that the planes that sat there, they were no longer licensed or insurable under the FAA regulations.
Right.
That didn't impact upon us necessarily, but.
I just want to make sure they're in compliance, that's all. Because I kind of listened to him say that. Maybe I was wrong, but I think that's what I heard a little bit about it.
But then do we also on the card reader issue?
What?
The stand on his card reader, and the fuel.
Yeah, well, all of this, we put sand, we have to put sand down very well. When a helicopter comes in there, it's dangerous, you know, and then when a plane turns around. So we're cleaning that up.
Is there any way to shield it?
Yeah, we could probably put some, we're looking at that. We got
Like
to
the
upgrade
glass
some of
even or
those stuff.
something,
Just something just to keep stuff from getting up underneath there, but it was available.
Now, let me ask you a question. There's some of that $49,000 that you want to upgrade, and use to upgrade the other things. If you see a more issue that we should use that money for, now's the time to do it. That's what I'm saying.
Just a quick note on that. I did talk to Jim Morrissey on it. State DOT says we cannot use money between projects. So the $49,000 either has to stay with the transient hangar or go away.
Isn't this all connecting to the hangar out there?
No, this is really, what he's talking about with, that is the fuel farm, and that's kind of removed from what we're doing right with the acre expansion.
Good try, Fred.
I just said it. She will get it done.
We need a motion to approve.
Right.
No, we just need a motion.
Mary's moving this.
Bill made the motion.
Do we have a second? Stan, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
The next item, item E1, is approval of contract with Renee Building Contractors. This ties back into the Community Capital Assistance Program. Bipolar door project was bid back in November 2008. The contractor agreed to hold the price. Total bid was $89,600 with an add-on of $5,700. The add-on that you see there was for heating and associated electrical.
Second.
On the question is, this is, what's the total bid of 89?
$89,600.
And Danko was 144?
Yeah.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Item E2 is approval of an expanded scope of the transient hangar project. You recall this is a transient hangar with the total project value is $667,000 round numbers. The good news here is approximately $49,000 remains in the project account at this point, with the project being substantially complete. CNS is recommending that the scope of the project be expanded to include putting in a septic field, a well, and basically putting in a bathroom in the facility. It was an additional thing that would have been nice to have, but we didn't have the money for it on the first.
I'll make the motion.
Any questions? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
The last item before you tonight is approval of Time Warner Cable right of entry agreement, similar to an easement. This allows Time Warner Cable to install cable services to the 14th Industrial Building. As you can see here.
Walk through the money part of this, for the full board to understand because there's nothing here talks about money.
Right.
Okay, which one's the 14th?
That's the new building. That's the one that's all on it.
And then, is Steve, want Steve to walk us through it?
I can do it.
Okay.
In order to have cable into the building, Time Warner needs to have a right of entry agreement with the authority. So, in addition to that, Talmar is looking for the authority to go 50% on anything that is above the portion that Time Warner pays for. So, for example, the latest and greatest figures that I've been told, I don't have an actual invoice. I'm told that this costs a total of $8,000. So Time Warner conceptually eats $5,000 of that cost. OBPA will pick up $1,500. Talmar will pick up $1,500. But again, I caution, I have not seen anything definite in writing on what those costs are. And the only thing this agreement does is Time Warner needs the ability to run the cable to the building.
And the reason Tomar thinks we should split it with them is because when they leave, or if they leave, it will
Yeah, it's just.
be available to any tenant. Excuse me.
So,
If the new tenant wants Time Warner Cable, as their internet provider, sure.
but a total of, I just didn't want these to think later on down the road that we approved this, but there was money involved. I'm not really, I'm not against this, but I don't understand why we have any part in this at all. Spending authority money for this. I think it's a thing that the customer needs this service, and Time Warner should should give it to them because they're the ones that's gonna make the profit. They're gonna make money off of this. Why should we?
Well, the bigger question to me is, we've already made some concessions on upgrading the property that will get a new tenant. Where's the warning stop?
Well, that's why I wanted to bring up that if there's money involved in this resolution that's not here, and Ray's not hiding anything, but the facility committee,
Have we paid for Time Warner?
Jim questioned this, and this is what happened.
I don't know, have we handled that in the past year?
We haven't.
We have,
And then what's not, have other tenants come to us
just in the background area, like, that building, as it stood, had no communications as far as Verizon or Time Warner. Originally, I budgeted some money, should that come along this year.
for telephone service?
Yes, the tie-in across the road. Well, when we looked into that, that location was in a much, from where what I was told, was in the back of building 11 overtime, by 37. And to bring that cable in, you have to come back around by Corrections Way and in. And for us to install a 10-pair line was somewhere around $9,000 to $10,000. So instead of just coming across the road, that building has no communications to it. And so the way I looked at it was eventually we'd have to at least just get to a point where you put a demarc in the building, and then the client, the tenant would come off of that inside the building.
So you're looking at it, we already need to be liable or exposed to $9,000 to put Verizon or something in telephone.
Sure. And when Tomar wanted to go with the voice over internet with Time Warner, I felt it was fair to do that. So I had some influence on that. And it's not something...
But I guess what we need to do, though, by having this conversation is to make sure that if we do approve this, that's the reason, as opposed to anyone else thinking that we're going to subsidize businesses.
Oh, absolutely.
What happens if someone wants to rent the other part of the building and says, I don't want Time Warner, I have my own dish, and I want Verizon,
Well, I think that in this day and age, you could almost look at, well, let's just say we put Verizon in there. Let's just change the
this is Time Warner's cable, right?
Sure.
And they have exclusivity to Verizon won't access
Right,
everything
no,
else.
I see that, but I'm just saying, if we have Verizon in there now, someone came, like you're saying, and said, I want Time Warner, we could make them pay for it. I don't see why you can't do the same thing. Someone says, well, I want Time Warner, I want to compare line, and you go around, I want Verizon. Well, then, I don't see where it says we have to put in Verizon.
Yeah, now you have communication service to the
Yeah,
building.
you know,
If they don't want that, they can.
Before, telephones, Verizon, gas, and electric, things are kind of split out, so that's the way I would kind of approach it. But I know what you're getting at.
They don't have to like what you have there, it's their choice to use it, otherwise they pay their own way.
Right now, there's not saying, Time Warner's would make money on this, they can run it to the building. They're saying we can be liable for $1,500 of the stuff that's run in the building, right? Is that what you're saying?
We're not liable for anything.
Well, you're saying $3,000 that costs.
That is the
I think what we're trying to do here is there's actually two issues. One is the access agreement, which really is tied to the financing, right? So we just want everyone to be aware that, hey, potentially the authority's on the hook for a portion of the cost of these communications.
And I don't want to set a precedent here in the future that we're going to do this.
But no, but I think by having this discussion, I think we've narrowed the issue here, which is the only reason we're even considering it is that we don't have communications in the building. But otherwise, we have put communications in the building for the direct request. Because it's not something we're going to do in the future.
Well, if in the future, I've learned from this, we just put that in construction costs. We'd do it anyway, regardless. We'd put both in, and we would pay for it as part of our building, and we might budget $30,000.
You recoup it by your threat.
Right, and we were in charge of it. It's there at the building, and I think, in the future,
We'll bring it into the building.
we'll bring it right to the building.
And then we ain't got to worry about it.
Right, and then they can worry about tying into it, but it would be.
That'll be the last mile. Well, I just wanted a discussion on the money mark, that Jim brought it up at the facility meeting, and now everybody knows what the play is.
And just so everybody has the same information as what the facilities committee had, for all of them, Palmar has had a very tough experience with Time Warner on this issue, and this president not having to spend that.
Then we should get somebody else before we get into this thing.
Well, I think what
giving them many times a part-time right now. Maybe they should go back to Verizon and see if Verizon won't hold it up to the price that these folks want. They might. They might just say, okay, we'll do it.
Ultimately, though, that's the homeowner's decision.
That's their
Not
decision.
something within our scope of control. That kind of thing.
If they're short with floor, I give them $1,500. I don't like that. I think that they should pay the whole thing to $3,000. We shouldn't have to worry about it. That's $11,000 or $8,000, $5,000 goes to my owner's expense.
After the cost.
I don't know, see the motion process, I would just love to see more, hey, go back and, we know somebody else that's able to get all his fees waived, because I'm going to screw up for that.
That was a different situation, or it was different type of service.
Well, it was phones, internet, and VPN.
It's been ever since the day that
You were moving a lot of
You
stuff.
just provided that information.
Yeah, they'll sit there and say that, I mean, basically, their salesman said, it's never been done before, and no one's ever got their installation fees waived, and he said, hey, we're walking away then. And then we can,
how many jobs have we created so far?
Been working in the other building.
We're over here with free jobs, don't we?
They aren't in it yet.
Oh, they're not there, they're going to be there.
I don't know
But
if
they did it
hired
for a
there.
particular deadline.
They did, and they're waiting for the service. So operate there.
So they're saying that this is the hold up?
Yeah.
And before we were.
Well, I would ask the board to make a motion to approve this, but like they could narrow these prices down way, and make sure that we don't pay any more.
Right now it's the agreement, right?
Is that no price? There's no cost.
This one will give the gap one more.
So moved.
what is that?
All in favor?
Aye.
That's all I have for regular session. There is a very brief need for executive session regarding St. Lawrence factory stores.
Here we go. No action out of
Bill, and all in favor, saying aye? Aye. Anybody now in the executive session, that will be down Jimmy how do you follow the name? These are my favorite districts. 71. No, we more than that. So there's my lot's across the road. I've got it. I don't have the manual. I got all the things on the speed. 1927, the land was for.